What is up, everybody? Welcome to Viper Vibes Episode 3, the podcast all about snakes. I almost said this podcast because I'm thinking snakes. I'm here with my co-host, Chris. Chris, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Everybody doing good this afternoon?
Yeah, dude. We're doing great.
Heck yeah.
We're doing great.
Same here, man.
Would you mind to shut them doors, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, we're just going to talk about all...
Almost died.
Sorry, I'm glad you're okay. We're talking all about the myths about snakes. No, you're good, dude. You're good.
There we go.
All about snake myths, and they are abundant. They are abundant.
Yes, they are everywhere.
So many myths about snakes. It's ridiculous how many there are. So we've compiled a list, a pretty comprehensive list of all of the myths concerning these beautiful animals. And I'm skipping ahead in the list to number 2, but I'm going to start with it.
Okay, go for it.
Because we have a special guest in the studio to illustrate that this is a myth. And that is that snakes are aggressive.
Yeah, as you can see.
Snakes are not aggressive. So we have a special guest in the studio. We have Bubbles, my Gaboon Viper. Bubbles is hanging out with us. She's going to hang out the entire podcast. And as you can see, this snake is not being aggressive.
She is as chill as a cucumber.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Noah, if you want to put that on the split screen there, we'll be watching her the entire show. Now, I know Gaboon Vipers have a reputation of being docile, which is not at all the case. They are not.
No, they're definitely not. That's not an animal I want to grab a hold of.
No, absolutely not. They're not docile. They are incredibly venomous, incredibly dangerous. Chris and I are both trained. We know what we're doing. We have all the safety protocols here. So don't try this at home. But just to illustrate, the snakes are not aggressive. We're going to be hanging out with Bubbles the whole show.
And I believe this is the largest fangs on a viper. Is that correct?
Largest fangs
in the world.
Yeah, of any snake. Largest fangs of any snake in the world.
She will pack a punch. That's for sure.
Yeah. And largest venom yield.
Largest venom yield as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
this is not a snake that you would want to reach down and pick up. Obviously.
No, for sure. If your phone dies, let me know and I can go through.
Oh, it's all good. I think it'll be fine. It's not a big deal.
Snakes aren't aggressive; they're defensive. You got to look at it like this: if a snake that has no arms, no legs, no appendages to defend itself, if you are that animal and something like a human or a dog or a cat
or anything of that nature, anything that's going to harm the snake,
if it sees that, it's going to be like, oh crap, I'm in trouble.
Yep.
And it's going to get defensive.
Absolutely.
So they put on defensive shows. What's up? They're going to put on defensive shows. Forgive me if I don't interact with the chat a whole lot. I have a Gaboon Viper sitting in front of me, so my eyes are pretty going to be hyper focused on the snake. But
yeah.
And if you can hear, I've been sick this week. I have had pneumonia all week, so have not felt the best in the world. But we want to create some awesome content for you guys. So anyway, snakes are not aggressive. They are only defensive. They want nothing to do with us. They want nothing whatsoever to do with us.
They're definitely not gonna come after you. Mm-mm. or they would prefer to not bite you, honestly.
Yeah. So what's the next one?
So the next one,
let's skip one if you want to go back to the top one.
It's okay. talking about large constrictors here. So, large constrictors will size you up to eat you,
Yeah.
which is 100% false.
Everyone's heard the story of the woman that went to the vet and was like, my snake's not eating. Why is my snake not eating? And the vet was like, oh, well, you know, she's been crawling in bed with you. She's been crawling in bed with me. Why is she not eating? And the vet's like, she's sizing you up to eat you.
No, she's definitely not doing that whatsoever. No, number one, they don't have the brain capacity
No.
to foresee or think about sizing you up to eat you.
No, in fact, snakes will a lot of times eat meals way too big for them and then regurgitate them back up.
Yep, throw them right back up.
Yeah.
So, no, they're not sizing you up. That's just, to me, that's insanity. There's just no way.
Well, and it's very rare the snakes actually predate on humans anyway.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are definitely snakes large enough out there to eat smaller sized people. But as far as an adult male, I don't see that even happening.
No.
We're not on their menu, guys.
No, we're not. We're not. This is one I've not heard until this evening when Chris brought this up. Snakes don't die until sundown.
Yeah, so I've heard growing up that my grandfather and grandmother would say, you know, I cut the snake's head off, which I would highly recommend you don't try to do, because if that is a venomous snake, you're putting yourself at risk. We talked
Right.
about this last time.
Yeah.
But going on, if you were to, say, sever the head from the body, that the snake will not die until the sun goes down.
No, dude, you
So-
cut anything's head off, it's going to die.
So it's going to
It's
bleed
gonna
out.
die, like really quickly.
There's no brain communication to the body telling it to breathe or pump blood.
The brain has no oxygen going to it. Like, it's going to die. And it's going to experience brain death in less than 5 minutes. Now, that being said, if you do encounter a venomous snake in the wild and you do cut its head off, as so many people love to do for some reason, I don't understand that, but for some reason they love to do that.
Just leave them alone. You're not going to be hurt if you don't mess with them.
The disembodied head can still bite and envenomate you.
Yeah, so I think that's one of our topics here on the list, is a snake with its head detached from its body is harmless.
Yeah, and that's not the case.
No, that is absolutely not the case. Obviously, the venom glands are in the head.
Yep.
The head will still bite, even detached from the body, and it will still envenomate you.
For several hours, they have nerve impulses, and they can still bite.
So yeah, that I don't see that. I don't understand. Where would that have come from, I wonder?
I don't know. It's best just not to kill a snake. Most people get bit trying to kill snakes.
Yeah, they do, and it's, you know, it's unnecessary. Like, I've heard that snakes cannot smell.
Right.
So
Yeah, so that's another one. And then the next one. I guess I get to keep it organized. We'll just, every time we say one, we'll be like, so the next one is.
yeah, there we go. Sorry about that.
No,
but-
you're good. You're good. So snakes can't smell. They absolutely can. In fact, that's why they flick their tongues.
and that's their Jacobson's organ
Yes.
working.
Yes, in the roof of their mouth, and that's why they have forked tongues. In the top of the roof of their mouth, there are two small holes. Those holes are part of what's called the Jacobson organ, just like you said. And when their tongue goes out, it collects air particles on the two tips. It goes back into the Jacobson organ, into those two holes, and then it sends information to its brain of what it smells. So snakes can absolutely smell. They
Right.
smell very well, actually.
Yes, they do. That's actually their main way of, well, one of their main ways of locating prey.
Yeah.
One of two,
Yeah.
or I guess three.
Three.
Yeah,
Three.
three.
Well, probably four because they can hear too.
Yeah, that's
We'll get to that in a
exactly.
minute.
Yeah, well, yep, we're going there.
And just to keep for those just tuning in, we have Bubbles, my Gaboon Viper, here to illustrate the very first point that snakes are not aggressive. This snake wants nothing to do with us. She's watching me very intently.
Yeah, she's focused in on you.
Yeah, she is. But
She's not paying me any attention, and I appreciate it.
I'm in zero danger. Zero
No.
danger. So the next one on the list is snakes dislocate or unhinge their jaws while they eat. This is another myth I hear all the time. Well, they dislocate their jaw or they unhinge their jaws. Snakes don't have jaws
No,
that are not like we do.
Not
They're
like we do.
They're
It's
not
not a
connected.
solid bone.
No.
They actually have two separate bones, one on the left and one on the right, that spread apart while they're eating. That way they can consume larger prey items.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not the case. Go ahead and give us the next one.
Let's see. What's the next one here? Let's see. Snakes go... Wait, I'm skipping over one. Where am I at here? Oh,
Copperheads.
the copperheads. The copperheads smell like cucumbers. I believe we touched on this a little bit on the last podcast. But,
Yeah.
Copperheads smell like cucumbers, which is completely false.
Yep, that's not a thing.
I would welcome a cucumber smell in comparison to a copperhead smell.
Oh, yeah.
When they musk on you, it's just
It's
the most god
disgusting.
awful thing I've
It
ever
is
smelled.
so bad.
It is literally almost like death. It's awful.
Yeah.
It will definitely take your breath away.
It smells like a rotten cabbage patch that's on fire.
Yeah, like hot garbage.
Yeah, like hot garbage.
Absolutely.
And some diarrhea. It's not fun.
No, there's several
fun.
disgusting smells to.
Well, and the reason it smells so bad is because it is a mixture of their urine, their feces, and other pheromones. That's why it smells so bad.
Right.
So
It's a defense mechanism.
it is. It's a defense mechanism. I wish it smelled like cucumbers, but no.
They do-
Copperheads don't smell like cucumbers.
No, they definitely do not. No.
Which leads to the next one, which is about a snake very similar to a copperhead. The next myth that I hear this all the time, is that cottonmouths, specifically, but snakes chase people. No snake
hilarious.
anywhere has ever chased anybody. If a snake comes towards you, it is because you are between the snake and its only perceived route of escape.
Right. So most of the time, just like people, when we're trying to get away from something that is intimidating or potentially going to hurt us, we're going to take the path of least resistance.
Yeah, sometimes that's
And sometimes that's between your legs.
between your legs if
Yeah.
you're a snake on the ground.
Yeah, or right beside you. And you may be doing the same thing. You may be turning and running the same direction
Right.
because it's the path of least resistance. And
Snakes don't chase people. And I've heard that snake chased me. I know it did. That snake, man, I saw a guy as a cottonmouth. It chased me. No, it did not.
my grandpa was telling me that he was
It
down
chased him.
fishing somewhere off the lake and he ran across one and it chased him up the bank.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
No.
Now, if he had fish on him, it might have been after the fish, but it definitely didn't chase a person to bite.
What we have here in between us is one of the most dangerous snakes on the planet. Gaboon vipers are up there in terms of the toxicity of their venom. It's not chasing us.
No, absolutely not. And she's not being aggressive.
She's not moved.
She's
Again, now this video is largely not for snake people because snake people already know these myths are bunk. But the snake people are going to be like, well, that's a Gaboon viper. They're already kind of docile. They're ambush predators. They just sit and wait. Yes, and that's
Yeah.
exactly why I brought her in here.
It's because she will not
I can be
move.
safe with her in here.
yeah. Now, if you were to bring Mo in here,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm out the door.
Yeah, like I'm not going to bring my monocle cobra in here or my green mamba and hang out with it because safety is the number one thing here. I want us to be safe. But that being said, I have seen Gaboon vipers, the Bitis species in general. My puff adder is a psychopath, and I've seen her move just as fast as any of my lapids.
Yeah,
So
I would agree with that. She's very quick.
she's incredibly quick. So yeah, I chose her specifically for the fact that I know she's going to sit in one spot the entire episode and not move, and I did that for our safety.
Yeah, and she's constantly watching us, but she's probably not
No,
going to
she's
move a
fine.
muscle.
No, she's not stressed. She's not hissing. She's just watching.
So that brings me to our next topic. Does she have salmonella?
No, snakes do not have salmonella.
Where would that possibly have come from?
You know, I don't know. And
I should have looked that up.
I've heard the snakes have salmonella on their skin. I've heard that they have it in their poop. And it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. In their feces, maybe. But show me an animal that doesn't have the potential to have salmonella in its feces.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing we were told when we first got into the reptile hobby.
Reptiles, they have salmonella.
Was watch out for the bearded dragons. They carry salmonella on them.
It's like, no, they don't.
Like, are you letting your animal waller in feces?
Right.
Waller. You like that?
Waller.
I just caught myself there. Yeah. Do you let your animal roll around in its own feces? Then yeah, I mean anything could possibly have salmonella
Right.
in that case.
Right.
So no, they do not carry salmonella, or their feces probably could, but the snake themselves, no, they don't.
They don't. They don't. This is something that I have not heard, but apparently is very, very common.
Let's see, what is it?
Snakes go blind during summer.
I've not heard that one either, which is strange. Wow.
I don't
Why
know.
would they go blind?
Where does
during the
that come
summer?
from?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Why would they be able to see in the wintertime when it's cold? You know, okay, well, maybe some people don't understand that, or don't know. Maybe not, they don't understand. Maybe they don't know that these are warm-blooded animals and heat
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded
I
animals.
was like, wait a minute now.
Hang on. Cold-blooded animals. So heat is what actually, drives their energy.
They get their heat from external sources. They don't produce their own heat
Right.
like we do, like mammals. They have to be in warmer ambient temperatures or they'll die.
Yeah, they're not warm-blooded animals, which is what I meant to say.
I know,
But no, I'm glad you corrected me.
Oh, dude, it's the internet. You would have been corrected.
Oh, I'm sure. No, it's all good. But no, if they're cold, they're not going to be able to move. So why would they be able to see in the wintertime and not in the summer?
I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
To me, that's extremely kind of strange.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one either. I have heard, so moving on to the next one, that a rattlesnake will always shake its tail to let you know it's there.
Yeah, and they don't.
No,
They don't.
No, they do not. They can lay just like Bubbles here, which Josh is Gaboon, and be just as calm and silent as can be. Mm-hmm. You won't know it until you mess up and step on it or what have you.
The only time they will rattle is if they're in danger of being stepped on.
Right. I mean, and even then, sometimes they still don't rattle. 90% of the 95% of the time, they're going to rattle their tail when they feel like they're possibly threatened.
If they think that they can lay there still and you not notice
And you
them,
not see them,
they're
going to be quiet.
They're not going to make a sound.
Right.
They're not going to make a sound. Yeah, that's absolutely the case. And a lot of people get bit because they step on them.
Yep. Yeah.
A lot of animals get bit because they step on them.
A lot of animals get bit because they're curious as well.
Yeah.
Or like stupid people, they try to kill them.
Yep.
And then they get bit.
And I don't blame the animal for that. I mean, animals do what animals do.
No, no, absolutely. Animals are going to be curious. Dogs, cats, what have you.
Yeah.
I don't blame the rattlesnake for biting either.
Now, I've heard this one quite a bit. Snakes shed before winter and are more aggressive during that time. Like you hear around fall, everyone's like, "Oh, snakes are getting aggressive now because they're going into shed before they hibernate." I've heard that a million times. I don't know why when I talk about these myths, I go into like this like granny Southern accent, but I can't help it.
It's okay.
But I've heard that, and that's not the case. Snakes don't shed on a schedule like that, like once a year. They don't have seasons where they shed. They shed as they grow.
Right. Yep. So obviously, the more they're fed, the healthier they are, the more they're going to shed.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Exactly. They may shed. Heck, a lot of my snakes shed. I mean, they don't shed once a year. They shed multiple times a year.
Yeah.
Multiple times a year.
Heck yeah, mine already this year. I think one of mine has shed at least five times, at least. It's a younger one, but it's
Right.
because
Right.
it's growing.
Right.
That has nothing to do with yearly, summer, spring, fall, winter, whatever. Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with a yearly sequence.
This next one drives
The
me
babies?
bonkers. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So the next one is, and I have heard this so many times, and from so many different
It
people.
drives me bananas, dude.
Dude, it makes me want to beat my head up against the
I
wall,
know.
and I'm like, what possesses you to think that? Where are you getting your facts from? So the next one is that a baby venomous snake is more deadly than an adult
Because
or-
they can't control their venom.
because they can't control their yield. Yeah, no. Okay, so
I've talked about this ad nauseum. Like, I would much rather, if I had to choose between this gaboon viper biting me, which is a subadult. This is not a baby; it's a subadult
or
or
a
a juvenile.
Yeah, I
or
would
a
say-
full-grown 6-foot gaboon viper with
I'm
a
taking
head
that one
this size.
100%.
Yes. Smaller venom glands equals smaller venom yield. They can absolutely control their venom from the day they're born.
Absolutely. Yeah, just because they're babies, that doesn't mean they can't control how much venom they're injecting.
And you're just as likely to get a dry bite from a baby as you are from an adult.
Absolutely. That drives me insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hear it all the time.
look at the size of the head.
Yeah.
From I mean, comparison to a baby or a juvenile to an adult that is literally the size of. I ain't sticking my hand out there.
Yeah, don't stick
The
your hand out
fist.
there.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
do
I
that.
was going to be like
No.
out here, but no,
No,
we're not going to do that.
No.
No, obviously the venom glands are going to be much bigger. The yield's going to be a lot larger, and you're going to have a lot worse time. So I'll definitely take a baby bite, especially a wet baby bite, over an adult any day.
Sure. Now, either one's going to suck. This is what I heard a lot, too. So the next myth is rattlesnakes grow a button every year they're alive. So you can tell how old a rattlesnake is by how many buttons there is on its rattle. That's not true either.
No.
They do grow a button every time they shed. Every time they shed. So if you get a rattlesnake, you could potentially, and I say potentially because there's a caveat here I'm going to add to it in a minute, you could potentially determine how many times the snake has shed by how many buttons it has. However, the caveat is rattlesnakes lose their rattles all the time, either from injury, sometimes they just fall off.
Yep.
There's a million different reasons they could drop their rattles. So you really don't know. But yes, rattlesnakes do not grow a button every year they're alive. It's not like a freaking tree that you can cut it open and count the rings. Which I
Right.
think
No.
that's a myth too.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. I mean, it probably is a myth, but who knows? I mean,
That tree
I'm sure-
chased me.
I guess if it was during Helene, it very well may have, but
Right.
you know. All right. So the next one is all venomous snakes have a triangular shaped head,
Right.
and that is false, false, false.
Right. Right. A lot of different snakes have head shapes that are similar. Now,
They do.
the caveat here is a lot of venomous snakes have a more pronounced triangle shape to their head, as you can see with this gaboon here.
Yep.
The venom gland is right there. On each side, there's a venom gland. I know, I'm sorry.
She didn't like that.
And those venom glands are what give the head its shape. So, that being said, you will have a lot of snakes, when they're threatened, they will flatten their head out, and it gives it the same shape. And they do that in order to look bigger, as a threat display, a defensive posture to say, hey, I'm big and bad. Leave me alone.
Don't come near me.
Yeah. Water snakes do this all the time.
I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah. Water snakes do that all the time. They will flatten their head out, and it gives it a more pronounced triangular shape. But you cannot identify a snake, whether it's venomous or not, based on its head shape.
Now, I've never seen my water snake do it, but
Really?
it is very young.
It's a tiny one.
Yeah, it is very young.
It's a tiny, tiny baby. Which brings us to the next one. Another identifier that people commonly get wrong is that venomous snakes have elliptical pupils and non-venomous have round pupils.
I know for a fact that that's not true.
That is not. In fact, Noah, if you want to bring up what I have pulled up on the screen there and do a screen share with us, you can see here
There you go.
there are two highly venomous elapids that have round pupils. The one on the left is the coral snake. Now, it's harder to see their pupils because their eyes are black, but
Eyes
the one on the
black, head's
right
black.
is that's an eastern green mamba, Dendroaspis angusticeps. Incredibly highly venomous snake, deadly, deadly snake. Its eyes, its pupils are as round as they can be.
Yep.
So never go by pupil shape to identify a snake. And as a matter of fact, you can go back to us now. As a matter of fact, the elliptical pupils, like, have you ever looked at your cat? Now, cats have elliptical pupils.
Yes.
You ever looked at your cat and their pupils are just a solid round?
Absolutely.
That's because they dilate and become round.
Yep.
So, like this Gaboon Viper, if it was really dark in here and there was I've got studio lights and everything going, so it's like incredibly bright. But if it were dark in here, her pupils would be dilated and they would be round.
They would be round. My copperhead is her eyes are round constantly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really wish we could like zoom in on her eyes to show
Maybe
know,
I can. Maybe I can. Let's see.
that dilation in her eyes. That would be really cool. Because hers are right now they're just like slits like a cat.
I think I can. Hang on. I got to get behind the camera.
No, you're good. Go ahead. So Josh is gonna come over here and try to adjust his camera to where you can see her eyes. But if he can get it, they look just like a cat's eye. They are elongated, and maybe we can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it there. That's good.
There. I hope you guys can see that. But you can tell that the eyes are, or the pupils in their eyes are straight up and down. And this is not the way they always are. Like Josh was saying, if it was super dark in here, they would be as dark and round as her entire eyeball, which is crazy. That it's crazy to me that people try to identify venomous from non-venomous by using that,
Yeah.
because that's, well, we know that that's not possible.
Right. No, it's not.
All right, where am I at here? All right, deaf snakes.
Yeah.
So I thought this for a long time.
Snakes are deaf.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. I totally thought it for a long time. I thought, well, they ain't got no ears. How the hell can they hear?
So they don't have any external ears, but they do have internal eardrums, and they do hear sounds. They hear vibrations. They don't have a wide range of higher frequencies that they can hear, but they can hear specifically low sounds, low frequencies, and they are very, very keen to pick up on vibrations, especially on the ground.
Right. Yeah. So high pitched sounds they
Generally
normally
can't
won't
hear.
pick up on.
Right.
But a low growl like I have,
Which makes me wonder.
like Miley
My
Cyrus.
music studio is over my snake room. I wonder when we play the drums.
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder what that, because I don't think it bothers them. I have cameras in the enclosures of some of them. I should check that. I should watch them sometime and see what happens. Because like the mamba, Mo, which is my big monocle cobra.
He's beautiful too, by the way.
Most of the elapids have cameras. The only elapid that doesn't have a camera is a little coral cobra. All the elapids have cameras in them. Ninny Muggins has cameras. I should pull the cameras up on my phone and play the drums, which is directly above them. Now, granted, it's in a separate room. There is a layer of plywood, insulation, then another layer of plywood. Then there's there's a layer of carpet. So it's not like they have drums in the room with them. But I'm very curious to what their reactions are to when I play.
I don't know.
drums.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
We should see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, we should do like a little trial run.
Yeah.
To see if they, how they act.
Yeah, but snakes aren't deaf. They can hear. Granted, their hearing is not great, but they can hear and they can sense vibration because they do have internal eardrums. Next on the list of snake myths are, and this one's fun, snake bites should be sucked out or cut out. This is a terrible idea. All you're doing, and I get it. I get it. In the heat of the moment, and even in my snake room, I have a kit. Not one of the snake bite kits, but I have a suction kit that is that
attaches to your.
Yeah, I have one.
What could be the bit area?
I have one. A lot of people just start like with their mouth. All you're doing is introducing bacteria from your mouth into two puncture wounds in your the snake venom is not compartmentalized in your tissue. It is already going into your bloodstream, and every time your heart beats, it is pumping that venom further and further into your bloodstream. There's not a thing you can do about it except tourniquet, which you are not advised to do.
Absolutely not.
Do not tourniquet off a snake bite. That will cause way more damage.
No, it will localize the venom.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you heard about cutting an X?
I've heard that too.
Cutting an
I remember
X
the
in
old snake bite kits that come with a little razor blade in them, and you could cut. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they did.
Really?
They came with a razor blade, and you could cut a X or whatever, and then suck the snake venom out. Insanity.
That's yeah, guys. Once it's in you, it's in you.
If you get bit by a snake and you think there's a chance it is a venomous snake, go to the emergency room.
Yes, go.
That's all you have to do
right away. Please, God, go to the emergency room. Don't try to suck it out. It's not going to do you any good.
Nope.
Let's see, where are we at, Josh? Non-venomous snake bites make you sick.
Yeah.
I can tell you firsthand that this is 100% false. Now, it could possibly set up an infection if the wound is bad enough.
If the wound's not treated, sure. But, I mean, who's going to... Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say who, but... Who's going to get bit by a snake and then not wash it?
Good question. I mean, I could see where, like, getting bit by a retic or, something along those lines, something that's huge, or, maybe a tree boa or something like that would make you sick because of infection. Mm-hmm. But as far as the snake biting you,
right,
you're fine.
Right.
You're going to be fine. Wash the wound, obviously.
Yep.
Antiseptic soap. Get it sterilized. You're good. Put a Band-Aid on it.
If it's a harmless snake, it's not going to make you sick. I've heard that all the time. I've heard that, a black snake will bite someone. Lord, he got sick after that black snake bite. Like,
I've heard that myself.
Did he get a cold?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that myself, but from being bit many times with, ball pythons, water snakes, things of that nature, I've never gotten sick.
I've been bit a million times by my garter snake.
Yeah, same. My garters will bite the crap out
venomous.
of me. Yeah,
they're venomous. I didn't put that on there, but that is actually the people think that garter snakes are non-venomous. They are venomous.
No, technically they are venomous.
They are. Their venom is harmless to humans.
I mean, at worst, even if it would be like
unless you have an allergic reaction.
A sweat bee is what I would picture.
Yeah, yeah.
But no. A garter snake's not going to hurt you.
No. Whatsoever. On to the next one. This one's a fun one. Snakes can remember you.
Now, I'm on the fence on this one. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah?
I am. I feel like when I get some of my snakes out, I feel like they know it's me.
Okay, so maybe a pet snake. I won't.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm assuming this is snakes in the wild.
Okay, yeah. I do think that they know when it's me getting them out. Compared to,
Mine sure as hell don't.
I think they do.
They just hate
They're
me.
just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No, wait. Snakes aren't aggressive. Snakes aren't aggressive.
No, they're not. They're just defensive. They just don't like you messing with them, man.
No.
I mean,
No, I don't think they remember me. I don't think they're sentient enough to remember me. As much as I've worked with Mo and the other cobra who I've not named, the other monocle I have, my other Coithia,
female.
the female, as much as I've worked with them, they would remember me. They would know I'm not a threat because I've worked with them a lot.
Right.
Multiple times per week. I'm taking them out of their enclosures. I'm working with them. Of course, I'm hooking them.
You have gloves. You have protection.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So they don't recognize me. Now, there is an argument to be had that the species like your kings, your king cobras, that are more sentient, which I think the king cobra is one of the more sentient
Yeah, I would agree with that.
of snakes. Maybe they do.
I don't know. I feel like they might. I just that's
the
the way I
Mondos-
want to feel because I want to feel connected to my animals.
Right.
I mean, that may be my perspective on it.
Right.
But
I
whether
don't
it's
think
true
they
or
do.
not.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I don't think they remember.
They
us.
very well may not, but man, let me have that.
No.
Let me have my snake love me. Like, come on now. Oh, let's see. Snakes mate with other species, which,
You mean you've never seen a copper-headed rattlesnake?
you know, I think I did one time on a news show.
Yes.
I think I did one time. Other than that,
did.
no, I have not.
So, caveat, you can create hybrids.
Yes, you can.
If there are two snakes in the same subspecies in a species. So, like your
you and
cottonmouths,
I both have one.
a cottonmouth and a copperhead, which are both in the Echistrodon species, they can interbreed. Snakes in your Bitis species can interbreed. So your rhinos and gaboon vipers, which happens in the wild all the time, they interbreed. You can interbreed.
I would love to see that.
You can gabinos.
Yes, I love gabinos. They're
I want
beautiful.
to. That's the reason I have her.
When she gets
When she is big enough, she's
yeah,
going in
buddy.
the enclosure with Boris.
And man, I hope
Yep.
I hope she makes some beautiful babies because
I want some gabinos, and you can interbreed.
I call first dibs on one.
Oh, for sure. You can breed those. You can breed rhinos and gaboons with puff adders.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
you sure
I didn't know
can.
they. I didn't know they were close enough
you sure can. And what I would love to do is breed a gabino with a puff
to a
adder.
puffy.
Could you imagine a hybrid of a hybrid,
That would be dope.
dude?
That would be amazing.
Dude.
Would a death adder work?
No, because death adders are lapids. It's a totally different species. They're not in the Bitis.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
because the puffy and the death are so very close.
They look they look
They
similar.
look so very close.
Two totally different species, two totally different continents,
See?
not even in the same
Learning
world.
every day.
Yeah, man, me too. Me too. So the next myth is snakes are slimy. And so I can kind of almost understand this because if a snake, now this snake here that has, your killed scale snakes, Keeled. My nose is super congested, so it's hard to understand me. But killed scaled snakes,
There you go.
snakes with killed scales, they don't look slimy because they're not glossy. They don't have a shine to them. But elapids, pythons, colubrids that have really slick, shiny scales,
Shiny, iridescent.
they could almost look slimy. Like, I can almost understand that. But it's like, it's a snake, not an earthworm.
Right. The only time I've seen a slimy snake is coming out of an egg or out of a
Yeah.
cloaca.
Yeah.
Being birthed.
Being birthed.
That's the only time I've seen a slimy snake.
Yep.
Or felt one for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, snakes are not slimy. They actually feel really good. If you've never felt a snake,
They're very interesting.
Especially if you ever have the chance to feel a killed scale snake.
Oh, yeah.
Such as rest in peace. My
Your
female rhino. That is the most interesting feeling in the world. It is nothing like a ball python or
No.
It is magnificent. But obviously, I felt her after she was deceased. I'm not free handling this snake. I would love to
No.
be able to, but
Well,
I can't see myself
and we
putting
did
my
have
life
to.
at risk
We had
like
to
that.
tube her, and you had to help me with that. We tubed her and gave
Yeah,
her some
now that is
shots.
right. We did do that.
Uh-huh.
That is right. I didn't even think of that. But I had gloves on, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
you
really
had the gloves on.
I didn't
right.
really get to touch her and feel, with my hands the sensation of her scales. But it is really cool. Moving on, snakes and milk.
Yeah.
So snakes drink milk
and are attracted
or
to
are
milk.
attracted to milk.
Where on earth did that come from?
I've heard that a lot.
I've heard
In my
it too.
past.
I've heard it too. That makes zero sense to me. Like, even that's not like there's a lot of these myths that I did believe growing up before I really got into
Same.
reptiles.
Absolutely same.
This is one that I was like, I don't know. That seems crazy to me.
Yeah, I thought it could possibly be true because of the proteins in the milk. I thought maybe it was something that they needed. This was before I got into same as you. But I guess where it came from, according to what I looked up online and found, was cattle farmers seen a lot of these milk snakes around, or what, that's how they got their name.
Right.
And they automatically assumed that snakes are there to
drink
the milk. I'm just
Right.
speculating here.
Yeah, I mean that's
The reason they were there is because
rodents.
the cattle feed draws in food.
Rodents. Yeah.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the milk.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The cattle feed draws in rodents. Rodents are prey for snakes, so that's why they're there.
Yep.
Yeah, I never understood that either. This is one that I never bought it. I was like, no. Which I was always like, reptiles don't drink milk. Like I just knew that for some reason. I don't know. That never made sense to me.
Have you ever put out a bowl of milk and try to see if you can draw some snakes in?
No, I never have.
I really want to try it now.
No. As a matter of fact, I think if a snake does drink milk, it can harm it or kill it.
I seen a post online where they were trying to prove people wrong on this myth, and they were forcing a snake, physically forcing it
To drink
drink milk.
Oh, that's
And the
so
snake passed
awful.
away
Yeah, that's awful.
because of that. Yeah, so
People
no,
are shitty.
guys, snakes don't drink milk, and they're not attracted to it that I'm aware.
No. The next myth, the next milk. Oh my God, I can't talk. The next myth is only rattlesnakes shake their tails. This is something that I've heard a lot. People be like, "Man, I saw this snake out in the woods and it rattled its tail at me," and I'm like, "Yeah, they do that." And I have all kinds of species of snakes. I've got maybe
You have several.
10 to 15 just off the top of my head, different species of venomous snake.
Yep, and
Most of them rattle their tails,
yes, when
especially your pit vipers. Pit
When they're-
vipers love to rattle their tails.
they feel like they're in any type of danger, or they will. They're out. So, for instance, we were talking about this earlier. I had a guy at work telling me that he come across a rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. This guy's from up here in Mitchell County, North Carolina. We probably have some timber rattlers running around,
Oh, we do. We've got several,
But-
they're thick in here.
but I have personally never seen one.
I have on this road.
And the way he described this snake, have you really?
Yeah,
on here,
I sure have.
That's awesome. Man,
They're here. We could go herping and
that would
find
be so cool.
all
just to
kinds of
find
timbers
one.
up here. Yeah, they're here, and
It's
copperheads.
a shame we can't house
Keep 'em.
them.
I
yeah.
know. I know.
Anyway, what I was saying, a guy at work said that he came across a snake, and he knows for a fact this was a rattlesnake. Because
doing
he's
that.
seen it wiggling its tail, and he could hear it. So
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, I highly doubt that was a rattlesnake, because I've never personally seen one, and I look all the time, like, walking through the woods and stuff. I'm trying to find one. I'm actively trying. And he was like, no, dude, this had to be This had to be a rattlesnake. It was wiggling its tail. I could hear it moving the leaf litter. Dude, a black snake will do that.
Black snakes do that. Copperheads do that.
Garter
Cottonmouths
snake.
do that. Garter snakes do that. Both bush vipers do that. Little blue dude, which my blue Enceladus does that.
I think every snake that I own does that except for my ball pythons.
Mo, he like flicks his tail like violently. He will do like a big blah.
Like a tail whip.
He will whip it up against the side of the enclosure, and it sounds so violent and loud. Which Mo is my big male monocled cobra. He does that all the time, and it sounds like he's like smashing his face, which he does smash his face into the glass. And a lot of times,
Yeah, he does.
To
But
keep that from happening, like if I'm in there working, I will hang. I've got some shirts out there on hangers, and I hang them up on the enclosure so he can't see me, and that stops because I don't want him to bust his face.
no, nobody wants that.
But yeah,
But no, there are multiple species
yeah,
of snakes that will try to scare potential predators away by rattling their tail.
they will.
They're trying to mimic. Obviously, they're trying to mimic a rattlesnake.
I don't think they're trying to mimic a rattlesnake, and
No?
this is something that I didn't put on the list, but it's something I hear all the time. Is that snakes like what you just said? They'll trying to mimic a rattlesnake, or a snake will flatten its head to try and mimic a venomous snake. I don't think they are mimicking anything. I think what they're doing is the snake flattening its head is to make itself look bigger.
Bigger.
And with
Yeah,
the flicking of the tail is not to mimic a rattlesnake. However, it's done for the same reason that a rattlesnake rattles its tail, is to let you know it's there so you don't step on it and be like, hey,
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
here.
that's a possibility.
I'm going to get you.
That's a very good point there.
This one, I don't know if this one comes from maybe overseas or not, but I've never heard this one here.
Which one? The
Snakes avenge their partner's death.
So I was gonna say, and I've also heard another one. I don't know if it's on the list, but that they always travel in pairs.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we can kind of maybe combine this one together.
Yeah, neither one of those are true.
No, they definitely don't. Snakes do not travel in pairs. They're not monogamous creatures. They do their business and then they move on.
Right. They don't mate for life.
No.
They don't mate for life. So they're not going to avenge their partner's death because their partner was their partner for just, maybe a few hours while they were, copulating.
Engaging in activities.
While they were copulating. That's it. And for those tuning in, the very first one that we pointed out, the very first myth was that snakes are aggressive. And as you can see, in between Chris and I, there is a gaboon viper sitting on the table. And this gaboon viper has not moved.
Nope. She's watching us, but
She moved when I moved her with the hook, and that was it.
yeah, she's not after us.
Excuse me.
No, she's not going to come for us.
Give us our next one there.
All right, let's see. Snakes must coil before striking or biting.
Oh, yeah. No, they will not. They
No.
don't always. This snake right here in front of me can strike from any position. She can flip herself
Forwards, side
upside
to side,
down to strike and bite you.
backwards, you name it. This
Yeah.
snake can absolutely tag you from any direction.
Yep.
She doesn't have to be coiled up in the quintessential.
No, she
S
can explode at any moment. At any moment. And we don't want her to explode at any moment.
No,
that would
because
be
she's
a bad
extremely fast.
thing. Very.
Very, very, very fast.
Oh, this one's a good one. I've heard this one quite a bit. A mother snake will swallow her young to protect them when threatened.
I've heard that several different times.
Now, here's the only caveat to that. That will happen. Sometimes a mother snake will swallow her young if she's hungry. And eats
but
them.
it's not to
It's
protect
not to
them.
protect them. It's
It's
to eat them.
because there's a food
Snakes-
source.
Yes, snakes do engage in cannibalism.
Well, there's a lot of snakes that are only snake eaters.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
king cobra, for instance, is mainly a snake
Yep.
eater.
Yep.
So yeah,
But no, they
But
won't.
they don't do
that
it.
to protect them.
no, they're not doing that to protect their young.
No.
Moving on, let's see. Venomous give live birth only, and non-venomous always lay eggs.
I've heard that so much.
I have too.
So much. There are countless species of both venomous and live and non-venomous that both give
They'll
live
lay
birth
eggs
lay
and
eggs.
yep.
Yeah.
It goes both ways
Yes.
on that.
Venomous that lay eggs, just off the top of my head, most of your lapids, if not all of your lapids, pit vipers, you've got the bushmaster lays eggs, and non-venomous that give live birth.
Trying to think right off the top of my head.
Oh gosh, let's see.
Do garters give live birth?
Garters, I do believe so. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I think they do.
Let me look this up.
I don't know. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I do believe they do. Let's see. Trying to look up my favorite one so far.
Garter snakes, yeah, water snakes give live birth.
Okay, so water snakes do as well.
Yeah. They
Okay,
do.
cool.
They do. Yeah. Boas.
Yeah, boas do.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's not an indication of
Venomous or
Venomous
non
versus
or non.
non-venomous, yeah.
No. All right, let's see, Josh. Let's see. Snakes are poisonous?
Yeah, so
So they're venomous.
they're venomous. They're venomous. And now there may be a, like,
couple outliers here.
well, not only that, like, yeah, there is the tiger killback snake is
The keelback
venomous and poisonous.
is both.
Yeah, it's both. But in a lot of languages use the words venom and poison interchangeably. So this one I can almost forgive
Right, yeah.
because of that. But in English, venom is injected, poison is ingested. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the tiger killback is the only snake that is both venomous and poisonous. It gets just like a poison dart frog from its diet. It secretes a poison in the back
From
of
around its neck.
Yeah, back of its neck that is.
So anything
used
that
as
eats it
defense.
will have a bad day. Or possibly last few breaths
Right.
of its life.
And this one, again, is being disproven by our friend Bubbles, sitting right between us,
Yep,
is that
she's-
snakes want to bite you.
She's right here.
Snakes do not want to bite you.
No, she wants absolutely nothing to do with either of us.
No, in fact, she would probably rather me have just left her in her enclosure.
Probably, but
Yeah.
for this, she's good. She's
Yeah,
doing good.
Snakes don't want to bite us.
No, she.
Snakes bite us as a last resort when they feel cornered.
Mhm.
Snakes know they're smarter than we give them credit for. They know they're not going to win a fight with a human.
They might be able to discourage. What are we picking up there?
No, your phone may be. Yeah, that's what it is.
Picking up some.
Just turn off the cell phone like signal thing, the cell data.
Oh,
That's
there,
what does
Josh, it's Kamala. She's listening to us.
it. Like Kamala.
Okay, but back to where we were. No, snakes don't want to bite us.
No.
Especially venomous snakes. They don't want to waste their
precious venom.
Yeah,
on it,
because it takes a lot of energy and a lot of time
to produce,
for them to
yeah.
produce and make more
Yep.
venom.
And if they waste their venom biting an ape like me, they could potentially miss out on a meal. So
Very true.
that's why you have a lot of dry bites.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
change gears from the venomous to back to the constrictors for
Okay.
a second. So constrictors constrict their prey to suffocate them, is what I've been told.
Right. That is not the case.
No, they do. The prey items will eventually stop breathing. Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, they constrict to stop the blood flow.
Yeah. They constrict and squeeze to stop the blood flow, and the prey dies from lack of oxygen. So maybe it is asphyxiation. Maybe that's I don't know. Maybe that's a tomato thing. Because
Perhaps.
eventually, if you stop the blood from flowing to the brain, I guess that would be some kind of an asphyxiation death. But yeah, I've always been told that they squeeze their prey, so you can't inhale and breathe. And I guess you can't, but you know that's apparently not the case.
No, that's my understanding too.
Here's one that I've heard a lot: mothballs keep snakes away.
I've heard this, and
It doesn't.
Mama Sue, both of yous. I love you guys so much.
Enough of the mothballs.
But stop with the mothballs. It doesn't help. The snakes are still going to come around. They're still going to be hunting little frogs and lizards. So the mothball smell can just
Most of this
we can do without that.
like mothball, maybe they work insofar as they are they keep rodents away. I don't know, but if you want to keep snakes away from your property, it's very easy to do. What you need to do is you need to clean up any leaf litter, any places they can hide.
Yep.
And you need to clean up any places or any items or any food items that would attract rodents.
Correct. So
If you do those things, you're not going to have a snake problem.
if you, like us, if you take your leftovers at night and pour them out over, say, in the side of the yard for the dogs or what have you,
That's
to
going to
eat,
attract rodents.
that's going to attract rodents. If you have dog food, dry kibble laying around on your porch that you feed your animals, that's going to attract that's going to attract any type of rodents.
It may attract dogs.
other dogs. I mean, it very well may. You may end up with a damn backyard full of coyotes, which has happened to us.
Oh, wow.
Not full, but we had one come almost within like 30 yards of me. This is broad daylight.
Wow.
A freaking coyote.
If I had to choose between a coyote and a snake being in my yard, I'll take the snake all day long.
I'll take 20 of them compared to the coyote. The coyotes can go on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they have their purpose, but
Sure.
I'd rather not have them around my dogs and my cats and what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, anything, any type of food source. Hell, a garden
Yeah.
will
Anything that attracts rodents will attract snakes.
absolutely. I'm gonna throw one out here that's not on the list. real
Okay,
quick.
go for it.
It has to do with blue-tongued skinks.
I read this earlier. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if you have blue-tongued skinks around your, speaking about gardens and things like that, if you have blue-tongued skinks around, it will run snakes off. It'll deter the snakes from coming around.
If anything, it would seem to me that would be a
draw
prey
it
item.
in.
They could,
That's
would
what I would
be
think.
attracted to. They would be like, hey, because they eat
There's
lizards. I have one
Absolutely.
snake that feeds on lizards exclusively.
Absolutely. Yep. And he's hard to get to eat anything else.
That's all. Yeah,
That's all
I
he'll-
have to. That's all he'll eat on his own. I have to assist feed him rodents. Anything else he wants to eat on his own has to be a lizard.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I need to go to get some lizards this weekend.
But I read that and
Stupid snake.
I was like, I don't know how that works because a blue-tongued skink. I mean, some of them get pretty big, but they're not going to be large enough to fight off a full-grown black snake.
Nor a copperhead.
Nor a copperhead. You know.
I mean, a cottonmouth is going to chase them into your house
Yeah, absolutely.
because they chase it. I'm just being.
Absolutely, it's going to. It's going to follow it no matter what.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, a cottonmouth, copperhead, black snake, even maybe a garter snake or something would feed on baby blue tongues, I would think.
Right.
Anyway, unless there's something out there that I don't know. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
But I don't see how a blue tongue skink would deter
It's
any
not.
type of.
No. Moving on to the next one. This is a good one. And this one this one's been in pop culture forever. Snakes dance to the music of snake charmers. I know everybody has seen the cobras coming out of the basket with the snake charmer in India playing the flute.
Yep.
That is not the case. Now, the snakes they don't dance, but what the snake is doing, the snake is moving with motion. And if you'll watch videos of snake charmers, as they're playing, they're
doing this.
They're doing this
Yep,
side to side with whatever the instrument is they're playing. That snake is focused because the lapids are very visual animals. That snake is very focused on the movement, and that's what it's doing. It's following that movement.
It's following that person going side to side.
Yeah.
That's why it gives the impression that they are dancing.
Yep, and they're not.
No,
not.
they're not dancing.
So many snake charmers get bit and die. And every video I see of a snake charmer or anyone handling snakes in a unsafe way, I immediately go to the comments and they say that what, Chris? They say the snakes are what?
What? Evil?
No, it's on the net.
Oh wait, I was gonna say what?
Setting you up there, but it's
okay. My bad.
it's
bad.
all good. No, it's fine.
I don't. I lost my place there. Where am I at, Josh?
The snakes,
Okay, I got you. They can be defanged.
yeah, the snakes are defanged. I see that all over social media. This snake must be
I'm
defanged.
so awful at this. I can't find where I'm at because I get to talking and I get distracted.
Right? No, you're good. It's all good. We're just hanging out anyway. It's fine.
Defang snakes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't defang a snake, people. Fangs are constantly shed and grow back throughout the snake's life cycle. They shed their fangs as they grow, just like they shed their skin. In fact, a lot of times you will see snakes open their mouths. They will have 2, maybe 3 sets of fangs in their mouth.
Where they're replacing old ones.
Yeah. Because
I've actually seen that. I've actually seen that one time on moose, my cottonhead.
Oh, dude, I see it all the time with the bush vipers. I've seen it in her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The bush viper, Squammy, the orange one. One time she was just letting me know to leave her alone, and she gaped her mouth open, and she had 2 on one side and 3 on the other, and I was like, "Good Lord,
that's impressive."
Yeah, like that I could see. I was like, "Good God."
Can all of those envenomate?
You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I'd rather not find out.
Yeah, no.
I would
but I'm
assume
curious.
so.
Would all of them be able to envenomate?
I would assume so. Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, they're all connected.
Yep.
Are they not?
Yeah.
So,
I would.
man,
think
that
so.
would be a fucking bad day.
Right.
That'd be a really bad day.
You get tagged by 5 fangs from the same snake.
instead of 2.
Yeah.
That would really suck.
So yeah, no, snakes cannot be defanged. They can, however, have their venom glands removed.
Yes,
and
they can be venomoid.
Yes, that's called venomoid, and that is not something that is foolproof either, because venom glands can grow back.
Absolutely.
It's rare, but it does happen. I watched a video online of 3 or 4 king cobras that were venomoid, and they milked them to see if they could get any venom.
And they sure did.
They sure did.
Absolutely.
It wasn't much, but it was
But
enough.
that's probably enough to kill somebody.
Someone, for sure. And that lulls you into a false sense of security with these snakes.
And they will lull you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They will make you think
sure.
that they are trustworthy. And until you get too comfortable, I'm not going to name any names, but if you hold it by the middle of the body, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yep.
So this is another one, speaking of jeffing around and finding out. Venomous snake bites can be cured with natural cures. Now, he didn't claim this and he at all, but I've seen this a lot online, especially from third world countries. That is not the case. Snake bites cannot be cured with a naturopathic cure. The only treatment for snake bites is very quickly getting access to antivenom.
Right.
That's what you have to do. Full
Yep.
stop. Sorry.
Absolutely right.
That's the way it is. Otherwise, you're going to succumb to the effects of the venom, whatever they may be.
Yeah, but, if you go to the hospital and seek antivenom, you're a pussy.
Yeah, that's what some people say.
I'm not naming names, but don't jeff around.
Nope.
All right, moving on. Snakes will escape from their tank, or could, possibly, crawl into bed with you, steal your body heat, and give you hypothermia.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
Well, thankfully, the first time I heard that, I knew enough about physics to be like, yo,
That's not possible.
that's not right. So I will give it to whoever come up with this.
I mean, I could see where
They did know that snakes are
are
cold-blooded,
cold-blooded and they need heat.
but they knew nothing about physics.
Did they know anything about humans either? Like, they know we're warm-blooded, right?
We produce
heat, so we're going to replace that, right?
We hope so.
I mean,
Unless you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. So no,
man.
that's not a snake's not going to crawl into bed with you and take your body heat and cause you to have hypothermia.
It's hilarious. Some of these are really funny.
Yeah, I know. I think one of the next one or two is kind of off the wall.
So this one I've heard a lot too. Venomous snakes swim on top of the water, and non-venomous snakes swim under the water.
Dude, I ain't even gonna lie.
Did you believe this one?
Dude, I did.
Did you?
I swear I did. God.
Well,
yeah. Well,
I mean,
actually, I didn't necessarily believe that venomous snakes swim on top and underwater. I thought that cottonmouths would normally be found floating.
right.
And as to where a water snake, which looks very,
a lot like
a diamond water snake looks very similar in pattern. If you're not used to identifying them, would have head up and body down into the water.
Right.
But that's absolutely not the case.
Yeah, no, and it's all about buoyancy.
So I'm guilty.
It's all about buoyancy, and if the snake is on top of the water, it's because its lungs are inflated and it's floating. If the snake wants to go underwater, it breathes out and then it dives down, just like a diver, or just like a human. If I'm wanting to tread water, or if I'm wanting to swim,
If I
want to float,
you want to float.
yeah, if I want to float, I'm going to take a big breath of air, and it's going to keep me above water.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know there's several people that probably don't know how to swim, but
Sure.
you can float on your back if
Yep.
you do know how to swim, and you can go all the way to the bottom if you really want to. But yeah, no, I'm totally
guilty of that one. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I actually got in a heated conversation with somebody about that, and now I feel like a dumbass, dude. Yep, here it is.
Man, it happens. As long as you're willing to be like, I was wrong.
I was absolutely wrong. That's
all that matters.
It is what it is.
That's all that matters.
But yeah, that was me, man. All right, is it my turn?
It is.
It is my turn. All right. Mothball. All right, we already way past that.
What I've been doing,
wait.
I've been scrolling down, which I don't know if you can do that or not.
I can on mine
yeah.
right here. But I am back to where we're supposed to be. It's the patterns.
Yep.
So if it has patterns, it's venomous.
Yep.
False.
I know.
Absolutely.
I hear it all the time, especially locally, because where we live, there's the only venomous snakes we have here in this area are timber rattlers and copperheads. But a lot of rat snakes.
We have garters, which are technically
garters, yeah. A lot of your gray rat snakes, a lot of rat snakes will have patterns, and they think they're copperheads all the time just because they got a pattern on it. It's like, dude, no.
My water snake has a beautiful pattern,
does.
and I found it in the driveway.
Yeah.
So
beautiful pattern.
It is a beautiful gray and black.
Now, a lot of venomous snakes have some striking patterns. This gaboon viper, for instance, look at this pattern.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
It blows my mind that this occurs in nature.
That is Mother Nature's best camouflage I've ever seen.
She has a perfect leaf on her head.
Imagine her in some leaf litter.
Well, you remember when I had just the mulch, the cypress mulch
do.
in her enclosure? No one could find her.
Do you remember me? You were like, dude, where's the snake? And I was like,
you can't find
there's
her.
not one.
Yeah.
You were like, there he is.
It's crazy.
She will blend in so very well.
Just in cypress mulch. This leaf litter, forget it. You're not finding her.
No, there's no way. She breaks up so very well. I wish I could do that.
I know, right?
Like,
I love this snake. She's one of my favorites. She is by far one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really would love to have her, but
now this next myth I have not heard a lot.
Let's see.
I don't know that I've ever heard it.
I don't know about that one.
Every snake is venomous, and no, that is not true. Only 10 to 13%. I've seen both 10 and 13%. I don't know which number is correct, but around 10%, 13% of snakes
I've never heard that one myself.
in the world are venomous. So the overwhelming majority of snakes in the world are non-venomous.
Yeah, I've not heard that one myself.
Now this next one,
I've heard this one a lot.
I've heard it my entire life, and go ahead.
So this next one is red on black, friend of Jack, red on yellow, will kill a fellow. And
Never.
do not go by
Never
this.
go by that.
Please
Never
do
go by
not.
that. There was actually a case this past summer of somebody being envenomated by a coral snake because it had what's called an aberrant pattern. Aberrant patterns are unusual patterns, and this snake was black and yellow. It had no red on
red
it
in it.
whatsoever. So this person picked it up.
This is an extremely venomous snake.
It's the only elapid we have in North America. And for those of you that don't know, elapids are the family of snakes that include cobras, mambas, taipans. The most venomous snakes on the planet are elapids. So, yeah.
So
crates are
this
another
person
one.
went by this saying.
And they
And-
messed up bad.
Do you know if they?
Yeah, they
Succumbed? Okay.
they had a full recovery. Full recovery.
Good. That's good. I wouldn't want anybody to
No.
mess up and
No.
die. But yeah, do not go by that. That's
No.
and there's more outliers than that one.
There
you
are.
know.
There's a lot more outliers in that one. The snakes vary so much in coloration and pattern. That is something you don't want to ever go by because that will get you bit.
Which I know a lot of king snakes. That would be true.
Right.
But
Right.
there, like we're talking about, there are other snakes out there that
Yeah.
you don't want to rely on.
Milk
that.
snakes too. A lot of milk snakes
Yeah,
have a lot of patterns.
milk snakes do as well.
The next one is hilarious to me, and I've heard it my whole life. That snakes are evil and they're the devil
Devil
or
horns.
satanic.
You know where that came from?
I know exactly where it came from, and we won't go there.
Yeah,
but snakes are not evil. They're not evil. They're evil. Snakes are not evil. They're animals like any other animal. They're an animal just like a dog, just like a cat, just like a gerbil. They're an animal that wants to do their thing, be left like look at right in between Chris and I. Again, there is a highly venomous gaboon viper. She is sitting on the table. She is not moved.
She's not evil. She's not aggressive.
No, she is. She's
moved.
fine.
She's moved very, very, very little.
She's dangerous.
Yes,
She's dangerous,
she's just watching me right now.
but she is not evil. Snakes are not evil. Snakes don't have the capacity for evil.
No, same as sizing you up.
Right. They
It's
don't
just-
have that capacity.
No,
They're not that sentient. They're not like humans. Only humans can be evil. That's actually not true. I've seen cats do some pretty horrendous evil
cats are pretty freaking bad, man. Sometimes I would like to string mine up by its damn tail.
Cats
It
are
drives me
evil.
crazy sometimes.
Cats are evil.
All right, so the next one kind of snakes are devil or satanic.
Yeah, I just lumped them two
You
together.
know,
Go ahead and read the next one.
because all right, I'm gonna touch this. Just because you like snakes does not mean you're satanic.
Right.
You know, you're not worshiping. You know,
Where did
Lucifer.
that come from?
I don't know.
I've recently seen that being circulated online, like just today.
I have too. I've seen it before that. Like, but I don't know. Just because you're a snake lover or reptile lover does not mean you're, Lucifer's right hand man.
Right. Well, snakes don't talk either, but
No, they don't.
I'll leave that alone.
All right. So, anacondas. Anacondas are the biggest snakes in the world, and they will hunt people.
I've heard that
I've heard that.
they are the biggest snakes in the world. Of course, they're not.
No, they are not.
They're the heaviest bodied snakes in the world.
The heaviest bodied, but they're not the longest.
That goes to the retic.
That goes to the reticulated python.
Yep.
Now, a Burmese comes in close.
Yeah.
But a
Yeah.
reticulated python is the longest bodied snake
Yep.
in the world.
Yep.
And they're not hunting people.
No, they're generally not. Generally not. Now, I mean, there are cases where animals do predate on humans.
Like we were talking earlier,
that happens.
It's possible that one could, a small child or
A smaller adult.
a smaller adult, they could probably eat them, but they're not going around looking for
No.
humans as prey items. That's not what they're after.
Nope.
That's
This
not
one
natural to them.
is interesting, and I've only heard this today when doing this. I've never heard this, but this is, I guess, prominent in India and throughout Southeast Asia
I've heard this one.
because that's where these snakes are native to. But is that cobras carry diamonds in their hoods?
I have heard that.
Interesting. So that's wild
That is definitely an over the pond thing.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've never heard that come from anybody here in the States, but I have seen several
Yeah.
of cultures in India, and maybe if Leah was here, I would ask her. Maybe Africa as well. Think that there is some sort of jewel or diamond inside their hoods.
Weird.
I don't know what I don't know where they got that from, but
I don't know.
I don't either, man. But I have heard that several times. All right, so cobras don't have diamonds. Cobras are the only snakes with hoods. We know that that's not true.
We do. A lot of snake people don't know that. In fact, I showed somebody. Well, I had somebody send me a picture of a eastern hognose in the next county over, and was like, "Dude, what is this snake?" They were in the woods,
It's a cobra.
and I was like, "That's amazing." First of all, that's a great find.
How awesome!
Right.
I used to see them all the time when I was younger,
never
and
see them.
dude, I used to see them a lot when I was young,
Yeah.
and now I haven't. If I seen one, it's coming home with me.
Right.
Like,
Eastern hognose snakes. Well, hognose snakes will flatten their neck out and display a hood when threatened. A lot of all of your elapids mostly do. A lot of your elapids do. Mambas do. Of course, cobras are elapids. So cobras do, of course. A lot of like red-bellied black snakes. A lot of your Australian snakes that are elapids will show you a hood. Red-bellied black snakes, tiger snakes.
I've seen a racer do it, a black racer do it before.
Really? Now, I've never seen a
it's
racer.
No, it's not.
I've never. No. They blow their necks
They
up.
blow it out. Yeah, it's like
Right.
a really swollen neck.
Colubrids do that.
Yeah,
Colubrids do that.
I've seen one or two do that, and I was like, man, that's really interesting. I'm not. That's a first for me.
I've never seen
But-
a black snake do that. I have seen other colubrids. Generally, colubrids not found in the United States do that.
Like do the whole puff up thing and
Yeah.
try to
vine snakes, boom slings. Yeah.
boom slings do it.
Oh yeah, cat-eyed.
The cat eyes will.
Vine snakes, they do it. Which brings me to the next myth. Speaking of boom slings, is that rear fang venomous snakes are harmless,
No.
and that is not at all the case. Now, most of your rear fang venomous snakes, their venom is mild and not medically significant in
Mild-ish.
humans.
Yeah.
But there are some that are for sure, like the boom
Not
sling.
the boom sling.
for sure.
Will definitely kill you.
Boom sling is the most toxic snake in all of Africa.
Yep.
100%. So that's
And it's rear fanged.
It is
It is
rear-fanged.
rear fang
Yeah.
venomous.
Yep,
And it
it
will
is.
definitely kill you. Let's see. All venomous snake bites are deadly to people. Mm-hmm. That's not true because I've been bitten. I'm
I
not.
have to.
I'm on this side of the dirt, so. And I did go to the emergency room. I did get antivenin. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a really freaking weird reaction to it, but
Yeah.
either way, I would have been perfectly fine.
I don't like the fact that you had a reaction to the antivenom.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't like that. And I don't know. I know they didn't try the Antivip. They just gave you Crofab.
Yeah.
But
Now, I feel like I could have received everything and been all right with it.
Right.
As long as I had some Benadryl in me.
right.
As soon as they gave me some Benadryl, all the negative reactions disappeared.
Well, the reason that I put this all venomous snake bites are deadly to humans on the list is because copperheads get such a bad rap here. Such a bad rap. And with snakes like my bush vipers and my blue encelaris, when I first started posting public, I've had these snakes for a while, but when I first started posting publicly about them, one of the things, everyone assumes that because a snake is venomous, that it's going to be deadly if it bites you.
No,
and that's not the
that's
case.
that's
as
not a
far as
fact.
I'm concerned, as far as I know, now that I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's ever been a documented snake bite death from a bush viper. I don't think there's ever been a documented snake bite death from an Enceladus. There maybe, I don't know. But bush viper, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a
I think so,
documented
too.
case of human fatality from a bush viper. Copperheads are another one. They get a bad rap here in the United States.
Yes,
People
they
think
do.
if you get bit by a copperhead, you're at death's door. It's a deadly venomous snake. It's not.
It's not. It's very mild.
Well,
It'll make you swell up.
it hurts.
It
I wouldn't.
sucks.
I would push back. I wouldn't say it's very mild. It's not. It's a medically significant venom for sure. But it's most likely not going to kill you, especially if you get.
Downplaying my bite.
I know. I know.
But no, it's not. It's 99% of the time, it's not going to kill you.
No.
It will. It's
gonna suck.
It definitely sucks. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend it. I would. No. It makes you swell up. It makes you turn purple. It makes you think your appendage is going to fall off, but it's not going to kill you. Now you've had a.
Yeah, I've had some medically significant bites.
You have.
I have. They're not fun.
Do you care to share a little bit, or?
I'm actually going to do a whole video about that.
Okay, so we'll move on to that.
Yeah, we'll move on. I'm going to do a whole podcast about
Cool.
snake
All right.
bites.
Sounds good.
But you want to read the next one?
We're gonna.
We got three more.
Got 3 more.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. People ascribe human emotions to snakes, saying they're angry
Oh yeah.
or whatever,
Or they love
or
them.
what have you.
Yeah.
Now, see, I'm guilty.
I think we want to do that with our pets.
I know. My snakes love me.
I don't think
No,
they do.
I don't think so.
think they do.
Dude, let me have it. I'm telling you, let me have it.
I mean, I joke all the time that my snakes hate me, but they don't. They don't hate me because they're not capable of complex human emotions.
No, they don't hate you, but I am.
They do try to kill me.
They do. They definitely do.
Might try to kill me, but it's not because they hate me. It's because
No.
they think I'm going to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's them defending themselves. They're not like fuck this dude.
Yeah.
This
Well, no, they are. They're like F this dude, but they're like F
What?
this dude because he's going to kill me.
what they're like F this any dude
Yeah.
that's in here messing with me.
Very much so.
Yeah, no, dude, my snakes love me. Fuck your opinion or fact, whatever. My snakes still love me.
This is a good one. Spitting cobras, if they spit in your face or spit in your eyes, they will cause you to go blind. Now, this is, I would call this a half myth because it is true that
They
they can cause blindness.
Yes, they can cause blindness.
However, if you would have to leave the venom in your eyes long enough to go blind.
It would have to be an extended amount of time.
And you're not going to do it because it's incredibly painful. It is a insane eye irritant. It would be like going blind from leaving Tabasco sauce or pepper spray in your eyes. You're not going to do it. You're going to rinse your eyes immediately. That being said, if a spitter does spit venom on you and it gets on your skin, you're going to be okay. It's going to be fine.
You are.
But if you have any open cuts or open wounds, you could potentially be in trouble.
Yep, it could definitely get into your bloodstream that way.
Right. And that's bad news bears.
And I want to touch a little bit more on that. If you are spit on or if there's dried venom that is agitated, you can inhale that.
Yes.
And you can build
Develop an allergy.
an
to it.
allergy
Yeah.
to that type of venom.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's just that type or
No, it's any venom. If you're exposed to, if you inhale dried venom of any kind over a long period of time,
yeah, obviously.
you can develop an allergy to it.
one time's not gonna give
Right.
you an allergy
Right,
to
right,
it, but I got you.
It's not. And the last one, the last myth on our list,
And my phone is
dead.
out.
DED. That's fine. I will read it. The last myth, and this is, I hear this all the time. The only good snake is a dead snake.
Man, I hate hearing that so much. I really
do
do.
too. I do too. And that is not the truth. That's not this. Snakes are a very important part of our ecosystem. They're a very important part of our world.
Absolutely.
and they serve a purpose in nature.
Absolutely. I would hate to see the world without snakes in it.
Yeah.
We would be overrun by
Mice,
lizards,
rodents.
mice, rats.
It's part of the food chain. They're there for a reason. They have a purpose, and they serve that purpose. They're not invasive. Well, some snake species are invasive if they have no natural predators. But, so I take that back. Some snake species can be invasive. But again, snakes are wonderful animals. They are very rewarding to keep. Now, again, don't go out and buy a gaboon viper. Don't buy venomous snakes. Leave that to people who are trained and can handle them safely.
Yeah, please, if you decide you want to get into the venomous world, do like I did and get someone who knows what they're doing and
Have a
let them
mentor.
teach you.
Yeah, yeah. But owning a pet snake is very rewarding. Ball pythons, as much as people love to shit all over ball pythons,
Dude, I love my ball
they're
pythons.
amazing
They're
snakes.
so cool.
They are wonderful to interact with. They have been bred in captivity for so long. They have practically been domesticated.
They have. I hate to compare them to a puppy dog,
But they are-
They are
Yeah.
the puppy dog of the snake world.
They are. They really are.
Now they will still bite you.
Sure.
And the bites still kind of
They
they're gonna
suck.
bring blood, especially if it's a food motivated bite
Or a larger snake.
or like
Nagini.
Nagini. She
Yeah.
could hurt you.
Yeah.
But a ball python, like you said, as much as people shit on them, I think they're wonderful snakes. They are.
They're great. They're great.
They're especially if you're a beginner. Mm-hmm. Go get you a ball python.
Yeah.
Start off with that. It's
Corn
pretty.
snake. Corn
Yeah, go
snakes
get
are
you a
great.
corn snake. I love my corn snake.
Yeah.
Thank
How's the
you.
You're welcome. How is the corn snake?
Thank you, by the way. Corn snake's doing really good.
Awesome.
It's growing. It's shedding. It's,
How big? I want to come see the corn snake. I
You
want to
should-
see how big.
absolutely,
How
man.
big he's getting.
You
Or
know
she.
where I
I
live.
don't know. I don't know where if it's a male or female. I
Yeah,
never
no,
sexed it.
we haven't sexed her.
What'd you name it?
I stuck with your name,
Really?
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
Yep, Cornelius. It is.
That's a great name for a
It's
corn,
a corn
snake.
snake. Cornelius. Why not?
That's a great name for a corn
Why
snake.
not?
This is Bubbles, for those just tuning in. This is Bubbles the Gaboon Viper. She is here with us to illustrate that snakes are not aggressive, snakes don't hate us, snakes are not evil, and snakes don't chase people.
And she has an amazing pattern.
God, she's beautiful. You need a Gaboon Viper.
Yeah, as soon as I get space,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. But I'm gonna have to downsize.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know.
I feel you. I love Gaboons. They're one of my favorite snakes.
I'm gonna have to devote a room the size of this room to
Right.
nothing but reptiles. And
Yeah.
at this point, I don't have the funds to do so.
Right, I understand. Understandably so.
I'm poor.
Yeah, this hobby is this hobby is more expensive than drugs.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
feel like maybe I should. Maybe, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
There we go. It's back. All right, and we're back. Sorry. We
Something
lost
went
this-
awry there.
That's the Starlink internet. I can't wait for my fiber to get back, but
Yeah, man.
it's cool. We're done anyway. So everybody, thank you so
Hey,
much.
yeah, hey, and hello everybody watching. Thanks for joining.
Oh
in.
yeah, we can go through the chat real quick. I didn't pay close attention to the chat because I've literally sat here with my eyes on this Gaboon Viper the entire time. So,
I'm gonna watch her through the.
right.
TV there.
What's
Which
up, everybody? What's up, Leah?
Hey, Leah.
Glad y'all are watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this this episode of Viper Vibes, episode 3. So we went through all the snake myths that we could possibly think of.
Leah, Abigail, Kiara, hello.
Bubbles is my favorite too.
Yeah.
I
Bubbles is sweet.
love this animal. She is absolutely gorgeous, and when you get her under the right light, she has a lot of really vibrant yellows in her too. The pinks and purples and yellows. It's insane. But everybody, please like this video, share it out to all of your non-snake friends that believe these myths, because this is what this is. The point of this channel is to really be educational and to be ambassadors for these animals, because they get a bad rap. Everybody loves to kill snakes. They love to hate snakes. They are incredible animals that play a invaluable part in our ecosystem and in our natural world. So
Absolutely well said, Josh.
Please like the video. You can find me all over the socials at WNC Venom. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me there, or you can follow my personal Facebook. It's just Josh McKinney. Just look me up there and see all kinds of snakes. But next week we'll be back same time, Friday night, 7 p.m. with another live stream.
Absolutely.
And
if anybody has any suggestions on what they want us to speak on, please
let us know in the comments.
Let us know.
Give us some topics. We love you all. Thank you so much for watching.
Everybody have a good afternoon.
Peace out.
Okay. Before we end, you told me to press a button before ending.
Uh-huh.
What do I hit?
Go to the intro.